Yeah, if you can learn. Be falling on deaf ears, man. Yep, man. Man, people do not learn. Our people just messed up, bro. Our people messed up. That's all I can say. Yeah, it's a lot that brothers and sisters just don't know. You know, and I always say the information age. And me and my dad were just talking about this. Like we so far behind because we don't know. You know what I mean? We so far behind because we don't know. And you're not stupid because you don't know. You know what I mean? We just haven't. Nobody showed you. Nobody never showed us. When I say us, I'm just saying, you know, brothers and sisters as a whole. A lot of concepts like we don't even know. And me and my dad were just watching this old documentary of Flint. And when you see how a Ford and Chevy, they came together. Like I just have to keep saying it all over, man. Misnomer black people, it's a lost cause because they don't work together. They act like Crips and Bloods, and and most people, especially my city of Flint, people don't even know the city of Flint was indigenous. The city of Flint, Michigan, was indigenous. The city of Flint, Michigan, is an indigenous area, and I had the opportunity to lecture to kids, man, and lecture to different nationalities, and they listen. They listen way more than so-called black students. I'm saying it flat out. When I don't come from hate, most people don't even know what the city of Flint is all about. It's documentaries of the city of Flint in the 18th and the 19th century. The city of Flint was indigenous until the Europeans came and started making money off being lumberers, and then making horse carriages, and then the automotive industry. But people don't even know. Most people don't even know the city of Flint. Why do you think it's called Flint? Flint is a rock. It's a spirit, and people just don't know. They just don't know the history, the culture of how people came together. When we think these so-called, no disrespect, white or Europeans so smarter than you, they not. I can show you how these people have went and got money in stock, didn't pay for the stock, but then when the stock go up, then they pay for it. People just don't know how a lot of people was wealthy. When I talk about the 1898 Wilmington massacre, how they murdered all those brothers and sisters in Wilmington, killed them, took over their banks. Some black families had two banks. And we be talking about some generational wealth, like some generational wealth gonna be somebody selling some damn clothes. Negroes can't stick together. Families don't even stick together. You see people on social media telling a celebrity happy birthday. Like here it is, me and my dad were just talking about it. Families will celebrate somebody getting out of prison for committing a crime. Then you celebrating your brother that graduated from college with a master's degree and then written 4 or 5 books. I mean, actually 20 books. And then help people graduate from college. But we celebrate Negroes getting out of prison. Ain't nothing wrong with celebrating nobody's freedom, but it ain't no other positive things we gotta celebrate. Like, I respect everyone, you know, like certain people get keys to the city, but ain't done nothing for the city. Like, our people don't know we lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. And when I tell misnomer black people, when they be like something hidden, it's nothing hidden. If I'm revealing everything that you think is hidden, and I say it take the people to come together, that's how all these companies did, from Henry Ford to Chevrolet to all these people, they work together. Hell, Henry Ford and a Buick, I think it was Henry Ford, he was 16 working with them for Buick. And people don't even know this. It's enough for everybody. And that's what I be telling our people. It's enough for everybody. But when misnomer black people get in a position, they become gatekeepers. You know? And that's why I'm leaving all my brothers and sisters. I done told people, I said, dude, I got a lot going on. I share everything. I just lectured at Clear University about this topic I'm gonna talk about. They take advantage. These European students that I talk to take advantage, and I get paid. I have a full library with over 1 million books. Nobody on here on social media, nobody that's Moors or so-called black frequent my library, but college students do. And they buy my books. They don't care if they e-books or nothing. They say, we download them on our tablet. We ain't finna pay all this money for books. I got books cost thousands of dollars, and that's why we behind. Because Negroes run the church instead of education. Oh, yeah, he think he's something because he's educated a book. Yep. You just say that because you don't know shit. I'm telling you, we all emotional. Even in my city of Flint, politics. Most people don't even know what the politics about. It's a popularity contest. You got people in position that ain't even qualified to do nothing. Because you don't got to have no skills to be a politician in the city of Flint or anywhere. Just like in Dalton, where they got Tiffany Henyard. Same crap. You got these misnomer black people with this DEI that have no skills. And look at them. No skills. And then the people be complaining, but I say, you Negroes don't even vote. Just like in the city of Flint, they had a third ward council, and here it is, the lady won with write-ins. With write-ins. You had damn near 9,700 people in the third ward, and you telling me only 900 and 700 people voted. 970, excuse me. The people just be running their mouth. And I'm telling you, they just be talking and barking. The city council can't do damn thing in Flint. It's a whole bunch of Negroes just arguing like a damn reality show. You know? Our people don't know nothing. Our babies don't know nothing. And all our parents talk about is some Jesus, some or moon, all that. Man, that religious stuff is for the birds. You don't have religion all your life. But when I say education is key, this is what Negroes say. They don't like school. You don't like school because you've been taught wrong. You've been taught wrong. That's why you don't like school. You've been taught wrong. And our people is educatedly stupid. They don't know about finances. They don't know about macro. They don't know about tax exempt status. Like, we just lost. Everybody be arguing, well, Donald Trump ain't showed his taxes. He don't got to show his taxes to nobody that's asking him. That's what I be telling people. I said, dude, just because you might think it's unethical, that don't mean it's illegal. That's why I be telling people. It's like, don't nobody care how you feel. Misnomer black people emotional. Is it lawful? Just like a lot of companies, they take insurance out on you. You don't even know this, but I do. Is it illegal? No. Is it unethical? Maybe to you. But is it illegal? No. You see what I'm saying? People just be talking. They don't know politics. They don't know law. They don't read budgets. They don't read contracts. That's my expertise. And I was homeschooled because my dad was an executive director. That's why a lot of stuff I know. I was homeschooled. I used to be able to go to my dad's office downtown. In my dad's big ass office and see my dad going over budget, being a boss. That's why I be telling everybody, my story, everybody's story is different. I don't got no story on the white man this, the white, I don't have that story. And I'm from a little city called Flint, Michigan. The only story I got is from niggers. Excuse my candor. A Negro killed my baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bay, murdered my baby brother that looked just like me. A Negro killed my cousin, Miguel Swain, in front of my homeboy, Mike Ville house. My homeboy, Michael Blackmore, got murdered when we was in high school by a Negro. My boy K9, he's still alive. He got shot in the mouth by a Negro. I ain't talking about the white man. The white man don't got no power over me. The white man ain't no devil. You talk about the white man, the devil. Are you giving the white man the power of an angel that was cast out of heaven, a Saint Lucifer? You got to be crazy. No white man got no power. Only reason why a white man be able to do something because Negroes sell each other out. That's how they murdered Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. That's how they got the Big Six. Negroes always sell you out. The Big Six, them preachers sold you out for $250,000. Then Jesse Jackson and I forget the lady at the African American Summit, they sold you out too for a couple dollars. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. So don't come to me with that white man crap, that stupid stuff. And don't come with me with no Al-Islam mess neither with the white man and devil. That's crap. And you under Dianetics. Miss me with that crap. Education, finances is the key. That's it. Whatever you believe in that's making you righteous, good. If, like I said, we are people. It ain't nothing wrong for us, our Messiah looking like us. Every other nationality, Messiah look like them. Why we can't? And the Bible, I can prove that the misnomer black man is the father of civilization, proved by the Bible alone, period. And I graduated in academia talking like this. So I don't want to hear when no troll get on my page talking that shit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that from nobody, from no scary brother that look like me or no troll. Because if you get on here, I'm going to start exposing and showing you that I got access to your camera and your address. Big brother always watching. And my IT guy on here. That's what I be telling people, man. I ain't on here to disrespect nobody. This is education. This is wisdom. This is peer-reviewed scholarly research. Why you think all the books that I have on Amazon cost thousands of dollars? Why do you think? Because they know you ain't going to have them. Let me show y'all some books that these college kids bought for me today. European kids. And let me show you who authored these books. These books in history. Because it ain't too many scholars. Our scholars wrote about our history. Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop, Dr. Francis Croft Wilson. You know, I can go on and on and on. This right here. I bet you people ain't never heard of this. It's called Stolen 5 Free Boys Kidnapped into Slavery and Their Astonishing Odyssey Home. But you know who wrote this? A European. And they say this book is so great. Look, here go the author, a European man. A European man. They get a book, 5 stars. The book is so great. I read this book years ago. I got all these books. But then when I be talking about the stock market and what's on Wall Street, I be telling people what's on Wall Street. They don't be listening. I said, everything is off the backs of you. Everything is off the back of you. That's what they was trading on Wall Street, you. And when I bring wisdom to my brothers and sisters, it's like we retarded. No disrespect. It's like I went through the fire to bring something back to my people, and we still looking stupid. And people get paid swell for what I'm bringing back to my people for small donations, and it's still just going one ear and out the other. That's why we not winning. That's why we not winning. These other nationalities help each other. Do you see European Jews debating each other? Hell no, they walking out the house holding hands. It's only dumb niggas that's on social media debating each other. Did you see our scholars back in the day, like Sheikh Anta Diop, well, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark? They was on Tony Brown journals. They weren't debating each other. They were debunking Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. That's what they were doing. They went up there arguing with each other and debating. These was educators. It's only one science. It's only one law. It's only one history. That's why I ain't finna have no conversation or debate no one. I only debate my equals. As John Henry Clark said, everybody else I teach. What I look like having a debate with some street person? Why? Even though I know where you're coming from and some of your points might be right, but you angry. I'm way past that anger state. Like I tell people, I ain't no street soldier. No, that's way past me. We on God conscious level. This war is not gonna be fought with no stupid ass guns. If you think that, you crazy. I tell brothers, man, my people lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. Negroes talking about religion all day and don't know history. Religion is history. So if you're dealing with the true history, then we shouldn't be arguing over nothing. I tell everybody, you deal with the language. You deal with Alexandria. You deal with true history. I show people this. I show people this all day. I say what the Surah library is. I show y'all what the museum is. I show y'all where the Arabic language come from, the Nabatan alphabet. I show you that if the Aramaic language. I show you all this stuff. I show people this stuff from scholarship. Debunk all the fake sovereign citizen stuff and more, still doing the stupid stuff. And all these characters got millions of views. People be sending these people money, taking their dumbass courses. But we can't clean up our community. Like, people ashamed. Anything you need, I got it. People love following these fake gurus. And I say, these people ain't in shape. They selling you something. Tell all these gurus to take their shirt off. I'm old enough to be all these gurus' daddy. Tell all them gurus to take their shirt off. They're like all them Negroes took Ozempic. See, I know game and sorry ass hustlers. I've been through the Ponzi scheme and the pyramid scheme. I have friends doing that scam and shit. I call their ass out. I had a friend doing that shit in Flint, called his ass out. Like, going with that bull crap, man. These Negroes ain't even smart as Bernie Madoff. I know straight up game. I have every manual for y'all. You want to get in shape? You got to get in shape. You want to know how to make your concoctions? I show you. You want the manuals, the shit for you ain't got to be dealing with nobody, taking a course? Get the book from me. Home study, herbology for home study. Everything else you playing. Everything else you a sucker. People be arguing over how somebody else making a bag. Somebody hit me up, man, you know that dude yada? No, I don't know nobody on the internet. I don't know none of them. Well, he's selling this, so what? What the man selling? Everybody sells something, so what? If you don't like it, don't buy it. I show people how to make stuff. That's why I don't sell nothing that you think gonna get you right. Nothing that you're gonna do is just gonna get you right. I don't sell snake oil or no magic pill. What's gonna get you right is a combination of everything. I'm telling you, anything that you need for you, you can make. And a map and a guide will show you how to make it. I get my finders for you, I'll show you how to make it. That's what I tell people. Community, bartering, doing things, business. I have a full library. And I've been telling people I'm getting ready to be gone in a minute. I ain't even been home in my city of Flint a month. I done spoke at one college, getting ready to speak at another one. I done spoke at two Jewish churches. My professor at my community college wanted me to come to his church and a class to do a lecture. And I told people, I said, I told y'all, when I be saying I'm going to be gone in a minute, not gone in the flesh, but gone like I'm being pulled. Just like when I talk about going to Europe and all those universities, man, like I can go to Europe and lecture the same stuff. I can show you somebody that's doing it right now. Was like, man, I had to leave the States, man. Like, this number of black people here. He is lecturing right now. That's all he do is lecture. He on the internet. He hit me up. He was like, bro, why are you still dealing with that shit? Like, man, you educate. Like, man, come to Europe. I'm telling you. But I got muftis. A lot of people just educators. I got muftis that I love. My brotherhood that helped save my life. You know, I got like 8 muftis. That's like my right hand men, and I depend on them. You know, so I feel it might just take me a little bit longer, but I told people, when you academic and when you true who you are and you stand strong and you stand on your square, it ain't nothing hidden. The Europeans know this, especially the Masons, especially the educators. I've been showing y'all all the books by who? Educators. Writing the history, the One War of Tartarian, that's written by Europeans. That's what I be telling people, Russian icons. We got our scholars that a few I name, but the majority of the books and thing about history is by Europeans. It's a European named Spencer Dew. He wrote a book called The Alliites. He a professor at Ohio State and one of the Christian universities. When the COVID was out, I was getting ready to go and do a lecture in his class, but COVID came out. I got paid and everything. I promise. And then I've been talking about stuff like being tax exempt status, being in the ministry, and get off the internet, listen to them goofy people that just talking and they can't do nothing in community. They ain't gonna help no kids. They ain't gonna do nothing. They just argue with each other. That's street shit. I'm way past that. And my people not my enemy, but it's only one truth, and I'ma stand on it. I'ma stand on it. But I teach so much, and my people don't take advantage of it. And when I teach it at other places, people take advantage of it. That's why I say this all day. That's why I said my heart be hurt. I said people ain't even taking advantage of what I have to offer. I'm really lining people up. I said it's a template. Once you know the template, you fill the template in, you take advantage of what the sensei is showing you, especially if you know it worked. People ain't taking advantage now. Then I go to a group of students, religious students and business students, and they, boom, they like, you can lecture here. Professor like, oh my God. But like, are you willing to come back and just talk to the students? Yes. Yes, I am. You use me. None of my people use me. None of my people use me. None. And so they can talk all that stuff and say the white man stuff. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. Just like Noble Drew Ali said, the European helping me, why not you? I'm going to keep saying that. The European bought all my books, why not you? Point blank. That's why I be saying, like, miss me with that. That's why I be telling people, miss me with the bull crap. The white man, the devil. Man, I don't want to hear it. White man ain't got no power over me. Only time my head be on the swivel is when I be looking for niggas. Excuse my candor, and I'm keeping it 100. I don't care how nobody feel about what I'm saying. That's the only time my head be on the swivel, because my domicile mostly is in Arizona. I'm around all different people. When I'm in Arizona, I wear my turban, my fez, my kufi, my yarmulke, my tunic, cotton or silk, all my everything. Europeans, peace sheik. It's an Islamic mosque right around the corner for me. Boom. Oh, when you gonna come to the mosque, Sheikh? I said, one day. They were like, we know you Sufi. Could you come break down some of the Sufi hadiths? Absolutely. 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 Just getting love. I'm in a community. I don't want to go nowhere else. Nigga, I want to expatriate from the de facto government. That's why I said, why do people follow me? Because I'm a fisher of men. I done helped so many people graduate from college. I done raised men. I done went to prisons on my own dime. I'm in Flint, Michigan. I done been to the Thumb Correctional Facility a plethora of times. A plethora of times. A plethora of times. And I be telling people more science is on the books. You just got to be real. They ain't finna let no one of these goofballs come into prisons with their feds on talking that crazy shit on the government that be on the internet. They finna overthrow the government and expatriate and teaching people that stupid shit. You think any of them Negroes that be talking that crazy stuff can go into prisons like I do? Hell no. Hell no. And even before I was doing this, when I was all the way into more science, I was always the divine minister. And I always spoke the truth. You can pull me up on YouTube, everything, Minister Khari Goodman Bey. I always spoke the truth. I've been through the house. That's why I be telling people, it's like, man, I don't have nothing to this. And religion ain't it for us. We always have religion. It's education, it's economics, it's group economics, it's understanding that we electric, it's understanding this tax exempt status that I be teaching people because we giving our money away to Uncle Sam while all these other organizations is just winning. How? Off donations. And our brothers and sisters don't get it. I keep telling y'all, hold me accountable, but people not listening. They giving pennies instead of taking the fruits off the tree. We pick up rotten apples off the ground. That's why we'll never have nothing. All the churches, the Jewish churches, the synagogues, they operate off donations. They get grants after a while once they operating, but it's tax exempt. Either you're going to donate to your religious or charitable contribution, or you're just going to give it to Uncle Sam. We just don't get it. You hear people dissing things. I teach. I taught people the dynamics of 501c3. When you operate in a community, you don't want to listen to these Moorish goofies. And then I tell people about, well, today I was telling my mufti about 508C1A. And I break this stuff down. And all my right-hand people, I say, you all divine ministers. You want both. What you mean? You got to listen. But people be so caught up emotional, they don't listen. And I say, you can't help misnomer black people. Why? Because we too emotional. We don't understand business. We'll never have that aha, that light bulb moment. The light bulb never come on. I'm telling you. And people don't even understand the dynamics of what I just said. That's an automatic tax exempt status. You see what I'm saying? No IRS filing requirements. First Amendment protection. Like all these things, this wisdom I break down, how these companies and how these churches, just like how when I ask people, did y'all watch Sopranos? Yeah, what is it about? They was gangsters, but what were they doing? Where were they at? The church. Okay, so but what were the dynamics? Like, did you see any dynamics? No. Okay, well, I know. I know. So I said, like, church, like, I get it. I understand all science. I understand all science. But when I be asking people these things, I don't know. I said, but how you gonna diss something you don't know? I said, how you, oh, so others winning, but you letting people just talk rhetoric. But in the same breath, they act that you giving them money. In the same breath, you giving them donations. In the same breath, they asking for donations. Like that shit is stupid. Excuse my candor. They talk about or fiat, 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 fiat. But on their page, whatever the ministry page, they asking for donations. But if they ain't tax exempt, you know, that's what I be telling people. I said we all wrong. I said how you think we gonna build something? We got to do it on our own because if you're gonna get it from the FBI, which is the faith-based initiative, then you have to run your programs as government mandated programs. And if you're a 501c3 and you get certain funding, and if it's government and they say, okay, well, it's contingent on you, blah 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 blah, and letting everybody blah 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 blah, or this, that, and the other, it's contingent on that. It's just like anything else when you're a willing obligor. But people don't want to learn, and that's why we won't have nothing. And I say, oh, you want the government your daddy? I say, oh, you want the government to be your daddy? Cause everybody that know me, I ain't one of these brothers that say, hey, we gonna open up a school and live off this shit. I mean, people been knowing my brothers met me in real life, where on my jobs, running my stores, I got real companies. I got real mom and dad. I got real family. I ain't nobody in no basement. I got my own home. Take care of a whole bunch of people. Shit, what the hell is this? Ain't no fake life. That's why I said I like to use this, because I know this internet is like international. It can be good and bad. It can be like a double-edged blade. But I love it because I met my brothers. And my brothers I trust more than a lot of people I grew up with in my whole life. Maybe more than my blood brothers. And I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. Every one of my muftis, Malik, Maso, Brian, all my brothers, Alonzo, Dantes, Drayshawn, you feel me? Lamarck, my blood. My blood. So I said, I'm not teaching anything no more on my personal page. I'm just getting out here talking to the people. You know, general conversations to spark something. I teach enough. Like I say, come to class. I'm just getting on here talking to the people, seeing do they got any questions or anything, answering questions the best I can, answering questions the best I can. And I never tell you nothing how I feel. If I don't know something, I'm not gonna say, well, I think. I don't rock like that. I don't rock like that, because you shouldn't give a damn what I think. You shouldn't give a damn what I think. When it's dealing with this science and law. So that's why I get on here and I say, any questions? I ask people, any questions? Even when after class, any questions? Nobody had no questions. Then next thing you know, I get emails of some of the most outlandish stuff you could ever hear in your life. Sheik, I need a status correction. I said, what the hell are you talking about? And that's why I tell, like, and people be wanting you to answer this stuff. Well, pay me. Pay me if I can tell you going to jail. That's what I be telling people. But I know what most people do. They just pop on, and that's okay. I say that all the time, man. People be having children, kids, and like I said, my name come up with all different other people, especially for books, especially for regalia. I'd be like, man, I don't know. I know we a stiff necked people, but then when I say trust, cause ain't nobody hustle me. Like I ain't got hustled by nobody. I ain't sending nobody no money. Talk about I've been sending somebody some donation or taking somebody to court. I ain't been hustled like that. I ain't been hustled by one of these niggas on the internet talk about they can nationalize or denationalize. I ain't been hustled by nobody like that. Ain't nobody sold me no snake oil. So I ain't lost no confidence in nothing. So that's when I'll be asking other people, did it happen to you? Did it happen to you? Well, if it didn't, well, I think we making an excuse. And that's what we do. I said, that's what we do. We have Sunday school every Sunday too. We have book club every Friday. We have book club every Friday. That's why I said I'm just on here just having a conversation, seeing if I can answer anybody questions. I hope, people come to class. Because I said we building something beautiful and everything that's righteous take time, you know. And when you're doing it with Allah, God, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, that higher understanding and self, and with the people, of course it's going to take a little bit longer. Of course. But I know I'm honorable and transparent. I know that. And I know what we can do with what we have. That's all I have for people. But I'm here, like I said, if anybody got any questions or, long as it's nothing stupid, 'cause if we hear the joke, this not the place, I'm gonna block you and that's just that. I have no problem doing that. But if anybody got any questions, I mean, we're here to ask any questions. But it's just a different world, man, that, I have been able to see, especially in academia, especially being a part of organizations where literature is like I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. It's a library in L.A. and the library is named after Manly P. Hall. On Thursday and Friday, it's open to the public. Only on Thursday and Friday. But I'm gonna see if I'm gonna check with him, see if I can do a lecture in the private section. I'm gonna show y'all something. But I got an extensive. I have an extensive library, like extensive, like no cap, like no cap at all. My library is probably more extensive than Harvard and Oxford. Like no cap. Like literally no cap. Like literally. Yeah, sit it up there, Dad. Dad taking care of them plants. I had that light bright in my face. But anybody got any questions, man? Like I ain't gonna be on here too long. I ain't had nothing. I got a text string with my brothers, man. Like I said, I met with some students today, and it just be amazing the attention, especially of young people, and the lack of, like, a lot of them, they just don't know, and I don't blame the babies for what they don't know. But what I do know, this can be taught in academia, because in academia they have a thing called the reading list. That's why it's called general education. It's not the professor's fault. It's not no one's fault. That's what you get in general education. Now, the churches, you would think, with all the so-called educated people with all the letters behind their name, you feel, or you would think, that the kids would be able to get a good education, homeschool per se. How? Because you have those classes. And I always tell people, no matter how you feel about church, most people grew up in a church. Most people went to church summer camps. I'm not saying all, because some didn't go, some Islamic, some whatever. But I'm saying a lot of people in the urban community, misnumbered black people, you went to church. You went to church. Some people go to church right now. Some people wise and kids go to church and they get on the internet and talk some of the most outlandish stuff while they send their kids to church and give them money. Like, that's an oxymoron. You know what I mean? That's like saying you're a sovereign citizen. That's like being a sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. How you gonna be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time? They can't even explain that. Like, go and sit down somewhere with that Roger Elvick criminal shit. Excuse my candor. But a lot of stuff that I talk about, man, when I try to tell my brothers and sisters, I said, European students know about this. They study this stuff. They libraries extensive. When I first moved to Arizona, I used to go to all the Goodwills on every other Saturday, and I used to look these books up. But I used to be in the library on campus, so all those expensive books, I just used to look them up. Yeah, that's what I be telling people. I said, come on, man, like. And when I say academia, the only reason why I don't say it in a way like that's the only way. What I'm saying is when you do have the opportunity to be in a selected group where everyone is not, because academia is selective, and when you in going for graduate studies and doctoral studies, it's a whole different world. And when you have the pleasure to be in that world and live that life and see that and see the information and read it and able to have it, I think you're doing a disservice if you don't bring it back to the community. Because when you bring it back to the community, it's not going to be valuable to people. I hope you understand what I said. What's valuable is clown stuff. If I would have came with an image and did what a person was saying, like, man, Sheik, you can really be viral if you did woo woo woo. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing no stuff like that. I'm not making I'm not no character. I'm gonna get on here, say my piece and teach because this is my life. And show people that it can be done a different way, the right way. But I knew what it is. And what I tell brothers is like, what I'm talking about is not a mystery, you know? Yep. When I be telling people about subjective and objective, the thing here I teach linguistics. I teach you about be like, yes, context, you know what I mean? Analogy, parable, and symbology, adverb, suffix, nouns, just so much things that go with things. Always looking at things, as a how can I say it? As a scientist per se, where you got to put it in your test tubes and your beakers per se, or you got to put it in your mental calculator per se before things go. And that's why I say that's what we get here. We're not a. I'm not a map and a guide that's say this. Like me and my noble on here, Malik. One of my movies was having a conversation, and he shared something to me about the 12 tribes. And I say, yes, I get that, but it's also when we look at things, we can look at it in a deeper perspective and say, okay, well, if that's that, well, what is this? And if this is this, what is this? We start using reason, you know. So all those things, it's almost like we dealing with mathematics. Like a person say, oh, I can show you how to get through Friday without going through Thursday. Well, why would you want to do that? Like, like why? Why we dealing with a court jester. Now we dealing with some trickster. You know, I don't want to learn no tricks. You understand? Because there's no, that's not what we're doing here. We're teaching. And that's why I said when you teach and when you understand, it's only one law, it's only one science. Because when people say this religious stuff, then, hey, We should all be one if we operate on this religion, this book, because both religious books, hey, when you really talk about it, your concepts come from the same thing. And then when I really show you what your book come from, you will be mad. But I bet you can't deny it. I don't give a damn about you being mad, but I bet you can't disprove it. I bet you if we take it to the courts with a referee or a judge, I bet you with the evidence, I bet you they'll be like, okay, well, why y'all here arguing with this man? Like you argue with this man and you know this man telling you the truth. He just gave you all the damn proof. Like what you want me to do? I laid all the proof out. I'll tell you, you ain't gotta listen to me, cause I don't promulgate no religion, and I don't care how nobody feels about the linguistics that I use. I explain them. You know, this is what you get. You don't get religious dogma. You don't get religious dogma. Not for me. But when I show you that you all at what I just said it, you all at. And when you start connecting things, you'll be like, well, these two go together. Yeah, if you have an eye to see, if it's explained the right way, if you see the road maps, if you see what the first century writers were saying, if you can break it down easy as the child can understand. Because see, I like teaching. I teach the same thing over and over and loops and loops. Ask my mufti till you get it. I teach everything over and over and over and over and over and over and over till you get it. Why? Because that's how I teach. You have to. Man, it's just like old martial arts movies. Where you see the sensei at all the time? Where do you see the sensei at? Everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson. Everything. And the science that you under is what goes to your general life. I know a lot of people that just know something. That's not it. Knowing a lot of things is great. But application, community, using this platform to do things. This is what I'm telling people. We can create something beautiful, which we doing. But yeah, man, it's nothing hidden, family. We gotta understand that, and I think we gotta start coming together a little bit more, but private and really dedicating to that, and then and like I said, it got to be some action. We getting ready to have our fifth annual Morris Ball. Like it got to be some action, man. I'm serious. I'm serious. And I know we can. I know we can do something. It's just the will. I tell everybody this all day. It's like, why are we having these discussions of the other man and where somebody else come from? Man, we don't have these discussions. And like we really like people really having these religious discussions still today. Like man, we way past that conscious community stuff. I would hope we way past that. We gotta be. We gotta. It ain't. So you telling me it ain't no common denominator? It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that brothers can agree on. Not one. Not one tittle. I think that's astronomically. That's some of the most craziest stuff. Because I done heard like even with the Muslim brothers that be on TV, I got old videos of them saying more, saying Asiatic, and then I'd be like, well, what we talking about now, brothers? That's why I be saying like, why are people afraid of more? Or if you don't like more, Amazigian. I mean, what are we like? I don't get it. Like we can't let the worst of us have the voice for the majority. We can't do that. When people say more is science and this and that and the other, and they be saying that it's not. It's not. Because if it was nothing out of their mouth, you'd be like, man, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? It should be nothing that nobody from the temple, Morishon Temple of America, or Sheik like myself and other, or an educated man that just know that love his people and that never lead him to a burning house. It should never be nothing that that individual is giving to you as a map and a guide that'll bring harm to your family. Never, never, never. And he or she should never tell you to do something that they not gonna do or prove that they done. And it's not gonna get you in no harm's way. You see what I'm saying? And if it's not rocking like that, then it's not right. And what I be telling brothers, you be knowing it's not right when you go into the crap. That's why I be laughing. When all these individuals, you don't see them no more. You know? I be like, I done told y'all what's gonna happen. Ask any of my brothers. I say, man, I said this was gonna happen. I said they got an internet task force. What you mean, Sheik? They got an internet task force. What? That they make fake pages. They watching all these Negroes saying that they gonna do this and all this. They own their ASS. And they just send an APB out to the local police. They be on their ass. I'm trying to tell you, I know. I be cracking the hell up too. I be cracking the hell up. They be like, Sheik, how you know all this? I said, I just told you how. They got a whole a domestic terrorist list, foreign and abroad. I get it every year. I read it to my Mufti Moso the other year. He was like, God damn, Sheik. I was like, yeah, I told you. I said, I told you, all of them on there. And then they make fake pages and just follow people that be talking out the side of their neck. That's why I be laughing. I said, how you think you incognito and everything you saying on the internet? All the stuff that you're saying you're gonna do and overthrow, or somebody you're gonna do something to, you saying it on the internet, huh? That's why I be telling us, like, think about what's going on. Think about these things, what's going on, y'all. Just think about it. Nobody be thinking. And so what happened? Refurbish stuff. Refurbish. You get the same stuff, but with different characters. The different characters can make it sound so good. Why? Because this is another one in line for the shiggity. I just told you I just gave people the playbook. So no matter where it come, you can stand tall on it. You can say, well, I don't think this is right. Why? Because I have this, and this says what you saying don't even make sense. You saying some 1099, some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. Well, she gave me the paperwork from the CCRD. That's showing me this ain't nothing but an affidavit. And this in 2016. So what you telling me? Blah, 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 blah. Some 822 number, some, I don't know what you thought it was. That ain't. Nope. All that stuff fugazi. All of it. It's a state booklet. So when people talk about domicile and government and all this, I said, dude, what are you talking about? Do you know how the temple is set up? Yeah. So said this. I said, but do you know how the temple is set up? You just talking. Here go the state booklet. Read it. Don't worry about the people in the book, in the front, because my peace be among his soul, the brother, he went to jail for tax evasion and got his people in trouble for it. And the judge made an example out of him. Why? Because he was the leader of the shiggity. I'm just keeping it 100. But the science is 100. That's why I said, if the Declaration and Proclamation says, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. That's why I tell people, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. Why? Because if you promulgate anything bullcrap and you say it's the prophet, it's going to come to shiggity. Why? Because our proclamation and declaration goes against all the shiggity. And the state booklet goes against it too. So when you playing them games like that, telling people we don't pay tax and all this, but then having people file fake taxes, man, come on, man. That's how you lead your people into a burning house. And then you got this group of more saying this, and you got this group of more saying this, and you got this group of more saying this. Oh, we can claim this house. Then you see on BMF with the, we did it our land. We don't go by no government. So you got a whole bunch of criminal rogues that don't want to know true history and true law. We don't want that. How? We want to believe some fallacy. And that's not how we operate. And I'm just sorry. That stuff ain't no more science. And so that's why I stand strong in it, because when I see the shiggity, and people are like, yeah, that's Moorish. No, that ain't no Moorish Science Temple of Americas. No, it ain't. That ain't no, it's not. Anybody come and talk about the death of Moorish Science, the bull is crap. Show me well, that ain't no. And then I'll show everybody how the temple set up the bylaws, the proclamation, the declaration. All the mayors in 2012 said that when it would be Moorish American Week, so they need to cut the crap. We talking about brothers that broke off. That's like fascist groups, and I ain't saying for whatever reason. Brothers that broke off and did their own thing, just like brothers broke off from the Nation of Islam, just like Yahweh bin Yahweh was a Nation of Islam, was the fruit of Islam. Hell, just like Clarence X, you know. And then you got these brothers that break off and do their own things. Come on, man. And then when the people get in trouble, they disappear, or then people be trying to hide. I said, no, man. I ain't never done nothing like that. I ain't never came with no scam. I ain't never told nobody I can nationalize them. And people used to hit me up when COVID came, because during that time everybody was at home. Man, I had hundreds and hundreds of people, and I lost a lot of people because I wouldn't do that. One dude hit me up. He was like, "Bro, you know you can do this," because I'm telling you, I ain't got to say the dude. I know some dudes ran to China. They used to be with the dude, the Rise of the Moor dude. See, that's why I say I know everything. And them Negroes ran to China. They used to deal with them. And because them Negroes was making ID cards, and they got mad because whoever was making cards, Blase Splee. And then the Negroes ran to China and was making some license plates. You know what I mean? So nobody act like nobody can say nothing. And then these people refurbish. Just like I know some brothers in Texas, they squatted in the Empress house. The Negroes refurbished. I saw him taking a picture with a dude. I told the brother, I said, man, that's such and such, such. I said, man, just be careful. They don't want to listen. Boom, brother gone to prison. I'll be like, dang, man, what did you do? What did you do? You know, had to be something stupid. But that's when and people be getting these people, and I be like, man, none of that stuff is more science. So if you can't ask no questions, man, I tell everybody, come learn. Come learn history, come learn law, come learn everything. Ask questions. And people don't be asking no questions. I ain't afraid of no question. I want you to ask all the questions that you have. I want you to ask all the questions that you have. That's why I said, please come to class so y'all can learn. And we have book club on Friday. I mean, we have a lot of companies, but it should be a platform, to where brothers can come and talk. We even got a podcast we're trying to build. It's called what is it called? Journey, Journey to Knowledge of Self. I think Journey to Knowledge. Yeah, Journey to Knowledge of Self. My noble Alonzo created. We got a couple interviews on there, but we continue to build it. And I always, like I said, I always invite questions. I think that's so vital today. Is questions and sharing literature, and just like I was able, they call it Silicon Valley, per se, but at GCU they call it the Scholars Roundtable, where a lot of students was able to come and brainstorm, and I seen some guys, they got their thing called their company is called the College Hunks Movers in Arizona. Then some other guys, they call it something else. They got their own company too, you know. You know. But yeah, man. And like I said, we welcome everybody. We got our own book company, mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z. We print and bind expensive books at bindedbooks.com. I have a plethora of books that cost thousands of dollars. I mean, I have, like I say, it's just, we have a lot to offer here. And like I said, we just hope, brothers and sisters get with us and share it. We hope brothers and sisters hit us up, be like, hey man, yeah, I definitely would love for you to come and bring this here or come lecture this. And man, I got this many people here. I didn't know you had this type of information. I'm telling you, yes, I have that type of information. Not on no conspiracy stuff. I have that type of information. I'm telling you, especially with the economic blueprint of using our money that we giving to Uncle Sam to build our infrastructure, our temple and our school, and our spiritual house. It's a blueprint. I'm telling you. And if it go and if our will and Allah's will continue to go how it goes, we're gonna have our first brick and mortar in one of my mufti's states real soon. You know, that's the plan. Because I seen how it happened. I did my oral dissertation when I got my dual master's degree from Grand Canyon University. And I showed how it can be done. My professor like, it can be done. He was like, all it is money people giving away to Uncle Sam. He said, you give him a taxes and receipt, but he was like, you have so much to offer, Sheik. I have a library. I'm already a trainer, you know? You know what I mean? I'm a behavioral health therapist in real life. Man, like, I'm from Flint, Michigan. I moved to Arizona, had my own temple and school for a couple years. Ran my own suit store. Now me and my muftis got our own companies, and we run them online. We got a company called MoorishHaberdasher.com. Check that out, where we sell all Moorish American regalia. It's called MoorishHaberdasher.com. And we have a lot of dope items, and everything we do is professional. But we definitely want brothers and sisters to come to class and, and spread the wisdom and share with each other, no matter what your background is, no matter if you have a background or if you don't. I believe we can come to a common denominator one. Why? Because we brothers. And I know all our cups are halfway full. You know? And so and I think and those things can all line up. And that's what we get here when I say everybody need mentorship. Just like when young men come to things, I said, man, you get mentorship. My brothers are men. People get mentorship. Just like when I'm in Arizona, I mentor people. It's like I said, man, like we have our own Boy Scouts. Well, our Cub Scouts, then our Boy Scouts. We have our own that far. We have our own. We teach our own. We do that. We teach our young boys how to balance their bank accounts and the girls that. We teach them about microeconomics and macroeconomics. We teach them those things. We teach them civics. We teach them that. Who? We. Put it on me. Why? Because I have the education and the experience. In real life, we gonna do this. Just like how some teachers say, okay, well, we're gonna show you how to watch the stock market and play with fake money. We ain't playing with no fake money. We playing with real money. So at a young age, you're gonna learn how to do this if that's what you're into, and that can be a skill or a tool in a toolbox. I'm gonna be introducing stuff to our children that need to be introduced to them. If you like sports, that's great, but I'm gonna introduce other things to you. What? Those entrepreneurial skills, it's a whole different world. Brand yourself. That's number uno, what? You. And then if you understand what you're doing in your community, it ain't always about leaving your community. It's about linking up with the right people and building a community. That's what we can do, a blueprint. We can build. We can build. I'm trying to tell people, man. Man, people became successful. Y'all know people became successful off the internet and just making money. That ain't what I'm here for. I'm telling y'all we can do something and be like, you know what, and leave a print. Especially right now, what libraries can anybody go to? What library can anybody go to and be like, man, I'm going to this library where these brothers got, and they got all these ancient books. They done printed all these ancient books. They got hard copy books, or they got books they just printed. They also got laptops and things. They got ebooks. So if you wanted to get them and download them on your tablet, they got a lab and everything. And they have lecturing here, and they Sheik be teaching here each week. Man, they got classes, all this. My Mufti Malik, a basketball coach. He coached girls and boys. My Mufti Lamarck, he's a referee. I mean, it's a lot that go with this. I mean, and Malik is our trainer. I'm one of the trainers. I studied Wing Chun for some years when I had my temple. I had a sensei at my temple for years. For years. Then I met some more in Arizona, and my dad probably wouldn't have back. My dad called it because my dad is my elder. He was like, The science right, but he was like, but them Negroes, he was like, you will see, son. That's why I say I don't diss the prophet, but I'm a man. I'm gonna call it exactly how it is. I don't care how nobody feel, point blank. And that's how men should be. Men shouldn't be holding back. If somebody wrong, if somebody did something wrong, you don't let nobody else go deal with that and get treated the same way. You know what I mean? Especially if somebody got in trouble. You don't play that. You say, no, man, this ain't right. Why? Oh, you ain't gonna warn a brother. This is what I tell people. I said, man, we have to. And we don't have to go to jail for this. I got brothers that I mentor in prison. They be like, man, I don't wish nothing bad, but you would be the same way. You would be even bigger in here. And I was like, he was like, a brother secluded and just the wisdom. They're like, they have to, because I don't come with no separation. You know, it's a higher wisdom. I know some Nation of Islam and Sunni Muslims, they have a whole different ideology. You know, you know, they have a whole different ideology. They have a whole different ideology, a whole different. Hell, when I graduated, when I got my master's degree from Grand Canyon University, I went live. My parents came. My professor, he was like, because I used to do lectures on GCU campus all the time. I used to like literally be on the campus all day because I love to study, and I saw something when I got to the doctoral library. It was over. I said, and then like, because I'm not all knowing, you know. Like I said, I tell people I'm not no all knowing person. Like I just came out the womb just all knowing. Like I was raised right, but I moved to the hood. You know, fell from everything. You know, I was, how can I say, introduced to things I shouldn't have been at a young age. But the fact is, I came across some things, man, and later in life after I lost my brother. If I told you my baby brother got murdered, killed Jelani Goodman Bay, and it took me a long time to talk about that. But my muftis, you know, that's why I said I hold my brothers dear. And all through this social media walk, I done got to like offer like good positions, but it was you know, some play to be like, man, you got to shut all this down because you the stuff that we want to pay you for, you giving it away. Like like a lot of the books, a lot of the lectures I talk about, it's all academic. You know, all the reference, a lot of stuff that I be reading a lot of time be a lot of my papers. I just have them. A lot of stuff I used to write on, they have a system in academia now called the Turn It In system. So you have to, so all your papers, you know, they get turned into this system and it tell you where you get the information from. And you only can get a certain percentage of, you know, where the information came from, or you'll have to redo the paper because it's too much of, they'll say like plagiarized per se. So a lot of my work, I didn't give it all. And the little bit that I gave, it blew their mind. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't using a library. I was using Oxford and Cambridge library. And how did I do that? I just wrote you know, the heads of the libraries, and they were like, "Are you academia?" And I was like, "Yes." And I just told them my story. I'm telling you, no cap, like no cap. I got stuff people probably never heard of in their life. Real talk. That's why I said I don't operate on no conspiracy or none of that. Anybody come with some crap, I'm gonna come with your science and be like, okay, now what do your stuff say? Well, can I talk to you in private? Nah. That's why I be saying the arrogance and the audacity of a lot of people. With all respect, I'm not here to disrespect no one. What I'm trying to show people is say, look, 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 look. And I chose to go to academia. I didn't choose to go there and then come back and try to step on my people's neck. I went and say, wait a minute, man. This religious stuff, we cannot let this separate us. Somebody playing a dangerous game, and that's what it is. And I said, we ain't seen this trick bag yet. I've been teaching this. If anybody dealing with me, they'll be like, man, yep, I see the trick bag. Anybody should see it. By now, you should be clear. with it. You should be clear with that. You should be clear with this separation religion stuff. That's why we the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. That's why I tell you, yeah, we having church is us coming together. This what I be telling people, man. It's like, come on now. It's easy. That's why I say wisdom is wisdom. And when I say reaching back, not telling nobody not to go to school, but having that 7th hour that the Jews get. How I know? Because my professor is a Jewish potentate and he a Scottish Rite Mason in Arizona. That's how I know. And and I know what I'm talking about. And I'm no different. And we're no different. When it comes to structure, we just have to come together. That's all. It only take a spark. It only take a spark. It only take a spark. Just like I was showing, just like me and my dad was watching a film today about the city of Flint and how the Flint was indigenous area for a long time. How do we come together? My mufti, well, how do we come together? It's simple. Like, man, education is one. And when people say let me give a good blueprint. And matter of fact, let me give a pictorial. When the so-called COVID came out, right? Watch this. When the COVID came out, right? Kids stopped going to school, right? So how was kids going to school? Watch this. How was kids going to school during COVID? Watch this. How were they going to school during COVID? Watch this. It's simple. It's simple economics. Watch this. Anybody know? Everybody should have. That should be an easy answer. Okay, boom. Thank you, A-Bay. Online. Okay, so bam. So if we online learning, seeing what city what we say, identity or hybrid in person, deemed. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting to. Watch this. Both answers are right. One, I tell everybody to do what? Before you do anything, educate yourself in anything. Before anything been done. Because I know brothers that move a whole nother area for a woman, for a job. Myself, I move for if anything that's righteous like this, and I got opportunity, I'm a professional. If it's how it is, if the community that I want to be a part of, I've learned it, I've educated myself about it. We got some stuff popping off. This is an area that's prosperous. This is an area that the majority is at. I'm rocking with it. Now, if the brothers that I'm rocking with pick a certain area and I'm dealing with them brothers, I'm a freak on it. Just the same way people go out of town, the same way people fly and have fun. Like the same way I'll be like, shit, if my temple or my organization in a different state, say Sacramento, well, say in a year, I probably be in out of 12 months out the year, I probably done been in, I might have been in, I probably be in Sacramento maybe, probably every month. Myself personally, you know, probably myself personally. I'm just being honest. Why? Because it ain't nothing but a couple dollars, and we have it. Like if especially if that's what I'm doing. So if I'm being all attentive, because we can learn a plethora of ways. Like a person say, oh, I want to go to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, but oh damn, but I can't get there because I live such. They can say, well, man, you can take these classes online. Okay, boom, and still get what you need. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using that as an analogy. But when we build the infrastructure, that's the whole thing. Because I'm in the city of Flint. I got a mufti in St. Louis. I know St. Louis is an area. You know, I know St. Louis is an area that's messed up, just like my city of Flint. But also, I have a brother there. You know, my Mufti Dantes. And I know it's Moors in the city that's in shambles, just like my city of Flint. It's a temple here in the city of Flint as well. It's a Moor Science Temple. And that's why I created my school, because everybody was like, man, they're like, Sheik, the only time I see people at the temple, I see you up there one time. I said, but I don't know too much when they be up there. I'm always honest, you know? That's why I created my school. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Gratitude. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Gratitude for real. Islam. Gratitude for your condolences, nobles. But yeah, man, that's just real life. And I tell people, and I've been in ministry. Like I said, I'm an open book. Like I'm transparent. I'm totally transparent. I've been in ministry, and if you look me up in ministry, I always taught the truth because that's where our people was at. All good men, like Elijah Muhammad, all of them, Noble Ali, uh, uh, Farrakhan, they teach in the churches. The people there, it's what you teaching. It was a brother that was the minister, Brother Darby. He passed a couple of years ago. The brother, he was a great minister. He was a great, powerful minister. You know, that brother wasn't ministering no shiggity. He wasn't promulgating no crap. Brother Darby wasn't promulgating no crap. And that's why I tell people, I just evolved into something, like my professor was saying, you just evolved into something bigger, into a brotherhood. Like my professor called me Melchizedek. He's like, you just evolved to something way higher that'll bring everybody together. Cause I enlighten a lot of my Islamic brothers when I show them Sufi hadiths, and then when I show them language, especially those pale ones, no disrespect, and the ones that's from the Middle East, no disrespect to no one, no disrespect to no one. And then even my Christian brothers, why? Because my master's degree is in first religion, history, and and Christian history, and Christian leadership from Grand Canyon University. That's why. And I was able to cross study, and I was able to be in a couple societies. And now I'm telling my brothers, man, we can do it. And I have an undergrad in business management with a minor in marketing and sales, and nonprofit business startup from Cleary University. And Cleary University is in Howell, Michigan. And Howell, Michigan is where the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan used to stay. So let me tell y'all a story. When I first started going there, because I was driving out to the campus all the time until I started taking my classes on the community college, because I started working for the college at the community college to try to recruit the community college kids after they graduate to come to Cleary. But anyway, my first day driving after that mother, I'm rolling, yeah, cool, cool. Popo pulled me over. Hey boy, you going there? Hey, the country boy stuff, right? Yeah, boom, 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 bam. Make a long story short, it got cool. Fast forward to now. Fast forward to now. So when I came back a couple months ago, I went to the graduation. I was asked to come. I'm gonna get it out. Got my on the back of the car. She, you the same? Yep, yep, yep. Hug everything. He was like, no, when I be selling, everybody don't get treated the same way. And that's what I be telling people. I don't have the same story as nobody. I ain't out here driving without no license, no tags. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy out here with a whole bunch of stupid ass paper. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. You're not finna see me debating with nobody. I'm not that guy. You know? And so that's why I tell people anything you want to ask me. Okay. Yeah, that's all I tell people. Like I answer everything, and I got, like I said, I got my brothers to back me up, and they ain't try to sell nothing to nobody. That's all I be saying. It's time to be transparent. It's time to be honest. Nobody should be getting in trouble no more. Nobody should be, oh man, I thought this. Nobody should be assuming nothing. And nobody should be taking sides of things. that they don't know, that you ain't gonna show up to court for these people and sit right there with them. Any other questions, man? Before we get out of here? But I'm telling y'all, man, we can do something. And it's not hard. Just like I be telling everybody that say they Moors, I said I love everybody. But we can do something. Like I guarantee y'all, and then I got something to offer. I asked everybody on here, do you read? Do you research? Yep. I asked people where they get their books from. Everybody on here, they love showing the books. It's a Chinese word called Sudoku. Sudoku, excuse me, look it up. It's like people collecting books, never even the intentions to read them. But what I'm telling people, I don't just collect books. I collect them because I like books. But books, I say, I don't get expensive books and be like they're expensive. Like ooh. I get them because I like to read and study, you know. And the books that's expensive, I convert them to PDFs and then reprint them for brothers can get them. Because I know you would never, ever be able to touch those pages and even just see the wisdom that's in those books. And I come from no biasness. I don't come from no biasness. And that's the ultimate thing. And like I said, I love my Muslim brothers. I love my so-called Hebrew Israelite brothers. I love my so-called Mason brothers. But they know that I know that they know that I know really what's popping. Really, when it come down to the come down, when it come down to the come down, and all I talk, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm just showing you a blueprint with some righteous brother coming along. What can happen? Like what? This boom. I tell people right now, simple numbers. 100 people. No, yeah. What I say? No, 300 people giving $100 a month is 300 grand. No, well, that's $360,000 in one calendar year. Now, in cities like my cities, Flint, Michigan, St. Louis, man, we operating and say that money coming in each year, and then from other people, that's tax exempt. You get a tax exempt receipt. Now, most people that's working, that ain't gonna be enough to even put make a difference with your taxes, depending on the amount of money you make. But you will see that, you know, you'll want to come to the table and say, okay, well, blah blah blah, and go get a little more intense with it. But these things can be done, and people can get a tax exempt receipt. That's how these big organizations be popping. That's how these big mega churches be popping. I'm telling you. That's how a lot of rich people. That's why their kids have nonprofit organizations. They just donate to the money to them. When people say these people not paying their taxes, you don't know what they doing. They don't got to show you nothing. You know, they might be supporting a religious and charitable contribution of their choice, like I'm telling you. But we don't get that. We don't get that. And that's why when after a lot of NBA players, after their NBA days over, when they was making all the millions, they should have did that, but they don't know. So they get a money manager to pay their bills, whatever. And then whatever happened, no matter if it's good or bad, I just say if it's bad and your taxes not getting paid, the money manager not going to prison, you are. Ask Fat Joe. Ask Wesley Snipes. I'm trying to tell you. So these keys, when it's set up in a specific way, that's how these things can be done. When Tyler Perry be giving all those millions to TD Jakes, that's a tax write-off. Y'all gotta know this. When Oprah give away cars, that's a tax write-off. You gotta know this. That, you know, I be telling people either you're gonna give it, if you're gonna donate it to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, or we're gonna do it for you. You're gonna give it to Uncle Sam. But we just don't know this. You can't avoid what's right. You can't avoid it. That's why anybody avoided they went to jail. Anybody trying to show you how to break the law is goofy. I don't show nobody how to do that. I tell everybody research Roger Elvick. That's some criminal stuff. That stuff is not more science. I don't know how many times I can say that. I said that to a person. Dude said, man, that was deep. You said. I said, dude, I told you about Roger Elvick. I tell people about this all day. I'll be like, dude, I say this a plethora of times. I say this on the corner with a bullhorn. You come to me with that crap, I'm calling it out. Like, man, I'm too, bro. Man, I had to tell one dude. I said, man, I'm old enough to be your pops. He was like, how old is you? Like 35, 36? I said, no, man, I'm getting ready to be 48 in January. His mama had to apologize. I'm telling you real stories. Like, this stuff is crazy. This stuff is crazy. I be trying to help people. And people know it's the truth. I'm like, man, where y'all getting this fake stuff from? And nobody would say nothing. Oh, I'm studying more science. I said, dude, you lying. You not studying. Then when I said, okay, well, I'm from the temple then. What? So what temple you got that crap from? Show me. Because I can show you something totally different. Don't show me what nobody said. And that's all I be telling brothers. Don't get caught up in nothing, with nothing stupid, man. That's why I be telling people, ask me some questions. I got a little bit more time when I'm out of here. Y'all can ask me anything. Anything when it's pertaining to something that you may want to know. I don't care what person it is. I don't care what state they're in. I don't care. None of that stuff is. I don't care who it is. Any of that stuff, man, is some of the most outlandish stuff. And can't nobody. The thing I be telling these adults, somebody online say they can do what now? And brothers don't even think about that. You say it's a Moorish what now? The Moorish consulate. Where they at? You finna go to Moorish court? Like, where you going to Moorish court at? Don't tell me at somebody's office. Like, man, stop the cap. That's why I be telling people, man. I said, these people they gonna use that stuff against you in a real court of law. How I know? Ask the Rise of the Moors dude, the truck driver. I ain't gotta say his name. I showed all the stuff to my muftis. I showed everybody this before it's gonna happen. I said, dude, they finna go. I said, bruh. I said, this not gonna turn out good. It's not gonna turn out good. And people can be mad all they want to. When I saw what was going on, I said, oh, I said the plate finna go down. You know? I'm telling you. What'd you say? I didn't see what you said, brother. That how to have how to have. I don't even get that one. Let me see. Don't tell me it. I can't even, I can hardly see, man. I've been up since like 4 this morning. I'm sorry, y'all. How to have had, how to have hard conversations, question, overcome hurdles and challenges, for example. For example, as a reference question. I'm trying to, can you be a little bit more specific? That was kind of long. Shit, my head hurt. My head hurt off that question, though. I mean, I think I understand, but I don't have my glasses. I couldn't even see that, man. I think you said how to answer hard questions. Is that what you said? Something like that? You're losing me, man. I had to cut that light out because that light bright. But yeah, man. But I think anything, I don't know if I'm answering the question, though, but I think anything is learning and wanting to learn and taking the time to learn and taking it, always like, you know, you know, I just say, take advantage of everything. And I tell people, use your auto suggestion. That's what I tell everyone. Use your auto suggestion. Use your auto suggestion. I always talk about the mind. I always talk about that muscle, you know, when it comes down to the brain, when it comes down to that, and understand the abilities within, no matter what we call it. You know what I mean? No matter what you call it or I call it, we can get in those semantics all night long. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to do those things. You know, that's not my mission. We get that from other places. What I try to show people is that God within, you know, but really but have a clear understanding of all the three monotheistic religions, the Paraclete, the Fatimid, and the Jerusalem. But here we use that hippocampus, and we use all levels of consciousness. And as you raise to that God consciousness, I mean, you know, that's an understanding of using the tools that's in your toolbox. What? Using the tools, all the tools. What? Understanding, learning, health, application, building, finding a brotherhood, finding love, all those key parts. Not looking, but how can I say working in your progress? It's almost like hell. What you look, the mirror can only reflect what's in the mirror. The mirror doesn't change what's in the mirror. You can't look in the mirror and say, "Oh, the mirror is showing a different image of me." No, the mirror only reflects what the mirror sees, the reflection in the mirror. So if you stand in the mirror and you don't like the picture, that's you not liking the picture, not the mirror showing you a different image, because that's you in the reflection of the mirror. So I that's all I try to tell brothers and sisters when people come with this judgmental perspective, and I say that's not life. Like none of that's life, you know. Like all that religious dogma, the law and the commandments. I say ain't nobody living by the law and the commandments. Oh, you welcome, bro. That's no problem. You know, and you know it just I think a chamber of wisdom is not being used, and I think a whole just like when I show people about Neville Goddard, you know, the European that wrote a plethora of books, and then I remember I lectured, and I know one of the European students, he was a Jewish guy. He was like, well, trying to act like he knew something, and no disrespect, he wouldn't be mad if I was saying that because he gave gratitude to the clear up. But I understand how people be when they be excited. You know, it's no problem with that. But anyway, he was like, yeah, well, Neville Goddard wrote a plethora of books. And I say, yeah, I know Neville Goddard, you know, Napoleon Hill, you know, a lot of the thinkers. But I said, have you ever heard of Abdullah? He was like, Abdullah, you know, and they always looking up. And I said, well, he was Neville Goddard's teacher. He was like, yeah, I heard of him. I said, okay, I started laughing because my professor knew where I was going. And I was like, so you know who Abdullah is, right? Oh, yeah, I heard of him. I said, well, he looked like me. I said, he got turban on. So I showed the book, The Chosen Ones, when Wentworth Matthew and them, they in front of the Mordecai Temple of the Jews. And then I turned the page, you see Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi, and I showed how turbans were worn in the churches that signified the mystical East. And then I showed him on YouTube. Let me show y'all this. I showed him this on YouTube. Blew their mind. And I said, so I'm not here to say this and that. I'm here to tell you exactly what it is. Ain't nobody, you were taught by brothers that look like us. No disrespect. Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi that taught Neville Goddard.
Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi that taught Neville Goddard.
Look, and see when I lectured this book, I shared it with my muftis. I forgot I had this, and I shared it with my muftis a couple of days ago because I forgot I had it in my archives. But I remember I lectured it like some years ago, But listen to the intro. I think I played it the other day, but checking it out. Listen to what they say. Check it out.
This rare and precious book, a cherished addition to the Stanford Library, has been digitally revived by Google Books, preserving its timeless wisdom for future generations. Abd Allah, Teacher, Healer, chronicles the profound teachings of Abd Allah, a spiritual master who significantly influenced notable figures such as Neville Goddard, Thomas Troward, and Genevieve Behrend. Abdallah's insights have shaped the thoughts and practices of many spiritual teachers of the time, making this work an invaluable resource for those interested in spiritual growth and enlightenment. Abdullah, Teacher, Healer, behold, the day breaketh. As Jethro came through,
I ain't got to go no further.
he saw
I ain't going no. I'm just showing, and all the stuff that I be doing when I be showing my own brothers and sisters this stuff. They be like, I be like, I've done this years ago. Like I got a whole database. Like even the stuff I be bringing to my muftis. My muftis will tell you. Like I lectured this on a college, the book called The One Word Tartarians, showed from scholarship that it didn't happen like that. There's so much scholarship, and I say it's just not popular to our people. But I love what I do, and I only do it for that. But I do have another life where I do get the pleasure to speak at different places, but I don't have the pleasure to speak in places that look like me. I haven't. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't. I haven't. Maybe when I get older, and it'd be like Farrakhan when I get it and welcome into the houses, to the religious houses. I don't know, but when I go anywhere, I minister. Period. You know. So, like I said, I ain't out here to hustle nobody or nothing. But a person that have a mission, the mission is to show that we can have a brick and mortar. I don't ask for donations, the stuff in my pocket. People can see my work. People see my work. You know. People seeing my work. And so I said, man, I'm definitely not a sellout. Because like I said, I'm definitely not that. But I have created a platform, and like I tell people, if you need any books, anything, any regalia, if you need me to come to your city, put some brothers together, man, I'll come. Put a small donation together. I'll come lecture, teach, and leave everybody with not only just no information, but items, books and things. You know, and a lot of times I don't have to carry all physical books. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times there don't be no need. I can show you how to print them yourself. You know, like all these. I think we can do a good, because especially about our finances, especially if all of us working, and I think that's one of the major things we don't want to talk about is finances. I love talking about finances. Why? Because I don't have a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. That's why I love to talk about it. And whatever I'm asking somebody to do, I'm willing to do just the same. Whatever I ask a person to do, I'm willing to do just the same. When I've written and gathered and compiled the books that I put together, I didn't ask nobody to, hey man, I'm trying to write a book. Can y'all give me some money to write a book? No. I just put my wisdom down just like I do when I was in academia, when I was writing my papers to get my master's. I just put them in a lot of my wisdom and bind them myself. There's no need for those other things, you know? And so that's why I tell people, I said, I know what we can do. I'm trying to tell you. I have my own platform. Like I said, like this stuff be amazing to other people. You said, me too. I'm thinking of if I can get, yeah, because we can. I have my, like I said, MorrisHaberdasher.com, mypdfbooks.com with the Z. I said, hey man, we can create our own platforms. Like I be inspired by a Damon Dash and Master P. Yeah, they antics, but I like the bossness and the audacity to say, hey man, I'm gonna use my abilities, and no matter how big or how small I'm gonna do it, this is gonna be my imprint. Why? Because rich people create. And once we latch on to these things, we'll see. Like the books that I gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared, any question that people will have, they'll be like, man, he cleared this up real easy. It's clearing up. It clear up so much. And then the plethora of wisdom that we have, it can't be matched. But besides all that, y'all, I know we can do something, man, if we come together. And I know, and I do understand and do take trust for people to put money and donate money to people. I definitely understand that, and I do understand we are in a trying time. And I do know it is some people out here that may have said some things and said they may were going to open up a school and do these things and all these things that they profess to do. And no matter if they started off good and it's not how it's going, that's great. I mean, that's not great. But what I'm saying is, I haven't been hustled by that. I haven't hustled nobody like that. I'm sure you haven't been, you know, you know. And even for personal things, the sky is the limit too. I'm telling you, 'cause even for personal things, cause when things in a line that like, and I'm glad you said that. Like when things align, the personal business got to be in line. It had those all the things that when I say the more science is for the home, those things make things right. When I say bridges that may need to be made, I mean that need to be right. Whatever type of bridge that is, those things can be corrected. How? With the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And so all these things just go hand in hand, as I'm saying. But like I said, man, brothers and sisters, reach out. Yep, yep, absolutely. It's about that, man. It's about relaxing. It's about getting all that stuff out of our head. And it's really about having a conversation. I tell y'all what, one of my muftis, my noble Alonzo Wright Bey had a guest. And he wouldn't be upset if I'm saying this. I'm sure he wouldn't. I'm just using the brother as a reference. And peace to the brother. I hope he didn't get himself in trouble. I really do. Because his spirit was definitely in the wrong place. His spirit was definitely in the wrong place. And to be at that age that the brother was, it was, for me, it was disheartening for myself. Because I didn't understand where it was coming from. And so when I tell people, like, you have to be honest where you get stuff from when you come with me. Why? Because when you say something, I'm going to ask the same question 13 times. And that's how people get caught up. I say, dude, I'm telling people like that's not more science. Well, I'm studying more science from who? Oh, I study it on the internet. I done watch some videos and then boom, when it come down to the come down, you watching a specific person. You're not watching videos. And if you are watching videos, all of them on the same team. And so that's all I be telling brothers, man. Be very, very cautious. And anything you doing, learn it. That's why I be telling brothers, ask me some stuff. Some people be afraid to ask me things because they doing some of the things that I already done said is not right. And when they look it up, they be like, dang. You know? I tell everybody, research who Roger Elvick is. Rogerelvick. Roger Elvick. Roger Elvick. Research the Paradigm Group in Canada. They did the same thing, but research Roger Elvick. Rogerelvick. And tell me what you get. As we close, tell me what you get. I'm telling you. You're gonna be like, oh, that's why I know a lot of people don't research things how I be when I be in college, because a lot of times I call a lot of college students sponges, because it's like real time. Just like if I was giving a lecture and I say, okay, I might have a PowerPoint presentation, or say a kid don't have their book or whatever, but I say you got your phone, your tablet, yes, okay, so I'm gonna give you everything you need, the reference, so you can, have it on your tablet and blah blah blah. So when I'm giving reference points to just when I say bullets, because I might say, well, this such and such pertain to this. Is it A, B, C, or D? A person be like, damn, I don't remember. But it should stick out like a sore nail. No matter how it sounds, you will know that this type of behavior. Why? Because they fall in all the jurisdiction of that. Are we clear? No matter what nobody say. Like I said, when a person come with it, I just come with the trump card and be like, okay, well, stop the cap. This is what this is. And then what can we say? Okay. All right, now. And you research what happened to all of them. That's what's happening to people. I'm telling you, they bringing that in the community. I stand on it. I stand on it. I stand on what I say. I don't care what nobody say. I done seen it, and like I said, I done seen it in Arizona. I see the Negroes with the Fed zone right in jail with the European militia that talk about they're gonna overthrow the government. Hell, it was on CSI. Y'all ain't see it? When the European family militia family like we don't do none of that. Not the same stupid stuff they be having them Negro Moors say. That's what they had on BMF. I'm telling y'all, don't be mad at what I'm saying, but not in that extent, you know. What do you say? You saying that's true? You wait, hold on, wait. To pay bills. You saying that's true? Oh no, I hope you're not saying that's true. Are you? You're not saying that's true, are you? I mean, to pay bills. Are you saying that's true, or what? Like, or was you just stating that's what that's saying? And this is gonna be a good one right here. I'm saying that's what. Okay, so you saying it's true. So you saying okay. So you saying it's some money for you. So you saying it's some money to pay bills. That's what you saying. Wait, because I don't get. I'm trying to be clear. I'm trying to be clear on what you're saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to be clear. So are you, so what I'm saying is I'm saying are you saying that it's a that it's the money that everybody have at birth whatever to pay bills? I'm asking. This what I'm asking, brother. Like because if you're saying yeah, okay, yeah, 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 schemes, yeah, okay, yeah. All of them went to jail. And when people be saying and when people be saying they got this, why they don't have it? If your social security number is taxed to millions, why they don't have none? You never thought about that? Why nobody that promulgate that have no millions? And how somebody always is everybody a guru, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And that's why I said we should be able to talk about this stuff. But brothers be afraid, and I'm like, this is what's gonna happen to people. Yeah, if I show you where I told people, a lot of people only know these people by their fictitious names. I know them by their, like people say, their government name. Just like people be saying that they some Moroccan president or some general or some, what they say, what he say, Moroccan. I don't know what the hell, Moroccan, but he was a Moroccan something. What do you say, the Moroccan consulate? But Moroccan consulates, well, they don't go to jail over here for like, and you don't deal in no affairs. You know, I tell people it's off. People off. And just like when I talk about laws, people, I tell people that when we talk about civics, people have to really understand. Because if a person don't understand the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment, a person can't even have a conversation with me about redemption. Then we start talking about barbershop talk, because I talk about solutions. I ask anybody, do they know the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment? Do they use the vernacular or call themselves Negro, Black, and Colored, and African Americans? Do you claim that on anything you sign when you get a job, the SF 181 form? If we do, then the words that come out of our mouth is meaningless. It's just like when people be complaining about something, I say, did you vote? No. Well, what are we talking about? You ain't vote locally. We have no fight. This is what I be asking people, and I say the stuff with love. I don't come from no disrespect, you know. I don't be like I tell people. I say, hey man, a person can feel how they want, you know. That that that's all I tell people. Like, and then in law, in civil law, and criminal law, it's so many different avenues. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what they all promote. That's why they go to jail. I'm telling you, I don't care. That's why I say I don't care how it's packaged. And that's what I was telling the brother. I said, brother, I said, the language you're using gonna get you in trouble. I said, well, I'm trying to get order to get this and get off this and get off the all this and expatriate. I said, oh Lord, all this stuff. I said, do you know what that means? That's why I be asking people, where did they be getting this asinine stuff from? I want to expatriate from this de facto government. Okay, when you do that, then don't you know you stateless and you a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad? Why would you want to expatriate from this de facto government? You don't have dual citizenship nowhere. Why would you want to expatriate from the de facto government? Tell me why. Tell me why. Nobody can give you a good understanding. You just heard somebody say that. You can't even give a good reason why. Because you don't know the laws. You don't know the laws. You don't know the Constitution. You don't know the 13th, the 14th, or 15th Amendment. You don't know the religious laws. I'm not saying you don't, brother. But what I'm saying is, a lot of us, when we speak of things, you know what I mean? When it's pertaining to who we are. When I deal with specifics, just like how the SF 181 form, when it says fill out all pertaining to who you are. You know, when people get something, they say black, Negro, African American, or XYZ, most people will fill out black. They still do it all to this day. Most people think they got to do a status correction. And I say, and I done taught people the right science and everything, and I still fall on deaf ears and people get in trouble. I had a brother that was with me. You know what I mean? I told him what's gonna happen because I be seeing it in people's eyes. He did exactly what I knew he was gonna do, and instead of him calling me when his ass got was in trouble, he called one of the other brothers. And this is what I be telling people. I know what's gonna happen. If I'm trying to help you, I'll never send you in a burning house. And that's how when I know people be getting stuff from other people and they attest it and go and get in trouble. Every time I had an empress, the same thing. She lived in Savannah, Georgia. I said, "Oh, sis, you live in a right to work state." You know, you know. I be telling people, I be like, okay, and this, what I be trying to tell people, you got to be able to sit down with somebody that's gonna be honest with us and be like, yep, yep, yep. and be honest. That I don't care if nobody got no badge with no AA22 number on it. I don't care if nobody riding around in no old raggedy ass what they call them cars, Caprice Classic, like they some security. None of that don't mean nothing to me. I don't care if nobody bought a whole bunch of stuff that look like it's in the court in somebody's basement. If you go telling anybody your business like that, you got to be crazy. I'm telling you. And that show you the psychosis of a lot of our brothers and sisters. When I say a lot of these people you shouldn't be dealing with. I'm telling you. And people know I be telling the truth. My mufti said, man, I be feeling sorry for the women and the babies. Because I be like, how y'all brainwashed with this crap? All you gotta do is look like, man, I ain't hating on nobody. It's whatever, man. It's whatever. But I just be like, why would somebody even be playing in like with life like that? Like what's the purpose? Like what's the purpose of riding around in a car like that in a neighborhood that you ain't even the mayor, the city council, or your security or nothing? You're not even on your own land. You know what I mean? They not even on their own land. So it looks stupid. And that's what I tell people. You policing what? What are you policing? What is there to police? You're not even on your own land. Are y'all listening to me? So what you policing? The projects? What you policing? The projects? I mean, you at least you can be on your own reservation. You ain't on these niggas ain't on nothing. And that's all I be telling people. Like, come, I'll be like, brothers, think for a minute. Like, who does this? That their mind is right. Who does this? You see what I'm saying, brother? We have to really talk about this. Who go buys a whole bunch of stuff that look like court stuff and say this is Morris Court and this is where Morris come have court with a whole bunch of seals you can go to Office Max and Staples and get made. I be telling people, I be telling people, it's like, dude, don't come with the cap. That's all I tell people. Like, you don't have to come with the cap with me. I know what it is. A lot of other people don't know what it is, but I'm saying that's what it is, man. And so that's why I stand on it. I've been saying this for years, and now I feel in my spirit getting ready to come right back full circle because I'm seeing it, brothers. Just like how in the conscious community they said they were finna be the Black Wall Street. I be seeing it. I be seeing the play. I was like, oh, it's finna come again. I said because some people are so canny. I know how this game work. I know how this game work. I showed y'all. I said it's all. Listen, man. It's all payola. I'm giving key phrases. It's all payola. And you know what I mean. And then a lot of these people they had this book called The Influencer. I'm telling you. And I know what this is all about. That's why I tell people, if a person want to get in shape and get in right, you're gonna have to work out. You have to change what you eat. I definitely tell you to know your blood type. You know, and figure out everything before you start doing anything. You know. That's what I tell a person. I say figure out what you can have. Figure out what fruit and what vegetable that's good for you, that won't mess you up inside. You know what I mean? Figure out your concoction, but work out. But it's no magic pill. I don't care what nobody promoting. I don't care how nobody teaming up. Nobody can tell me that. Because right now, I don't take no pills. I don't do none of that fake stuff. I make my own teas. My mufti got a tea company where I buy my tea from called Herbs of Mayat. But I got my own big jars of different herbs because I like doing different blends. But, man, I run at least 5 to 10 miles every day. I do a circuit weight training every day with it. And I'm telling you, and I know I'm older than everybody that say they're a guru. I know that. And I know if I was in some, and I refurbished myself, and I was connected to people that everything I'm connected to is a scam, how can I be credible still? If everything that I was connected to is B to the S, how can it be right? I wouldn't even want that energy around me. I wouldn't need that promotion. That's why I'd be knowing what this be for. What? Promotion. payola. We only do this in our own community. We only do this to each other. That's why I be saying it's a joke. It's just like the brother in the community that got, the brother now, he went in church and did the same thing. Initials JM. I'm trying to tell y'all, in Atlanta, how I know, because I know people. Yeah, I be knowing what be going on. People be mad. I like, man, I ain't got time for that. We do not have time to be playing. People done pat their pockets. Real talk. And we know it. And I say, man, we can do something good, y'all. But I gotta get out of here, man, because I gotta get up in the morning. But you deserve more recognition and praise. Man, I give gratitude. I really do, brother. And like I said, we on here just ranting, just having conversation, building with each other. But man, I do teach systematically. Like I said, I have lecture on the college campus. I love people. I'm here to share everything. I never hold nothing back. But our mission is to have our brick and mortar and our temple and school, and I think we can do it with the people, and I think it can be done the right way. I really do. Like I really, really do. It's so much that we can bring. There's so much that I have, that connections I have with people. Like I know senseis, like Wing Chun masters, like that'll teach. Like my dad would come in here. My wife, a professor. I got pictures when I used to have. I used to have the master, but the grandmaster used to come, and they used to go to California. They had a big school. He used to come to my small little building. I had a little temple, and teach just for donations. Teach. He did it for 2 years. I learned so much in 2 years. I still got a lot of my equipment. You know what I mean? But it was a beautiful thing, man. And like I said, I just hope brothers spread the wisdom. That's all I can ask brothers to do. That's the least brothers can do. Subscribe to my page, put the notifications on, share the wisdom, go through my channel, peep some things. If some things catch your eye, some literature. Like I have a plethora of books. I have a full library. Like no cap. Like really no cap at all. But with that being said, man, I love y'all. Subscribe to the channel. And especially subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube page at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And I think my Mufti put our info on there. But my info is, my email is Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY @gmail.com. That's my email. Hit me up. Like I said, if any books, anything catch your eye, hit me up. I'll give you a good package deal. Because a lot of my books are ebooks. I'll send them right to your email. But with that being said, man, gratitude, man. Thank y'all, and peace. I'm gonna get another number tomorrow, too, y'all. I'm gonna get this phone on tomorrow. For like I said, anybody want to contact me, this phone will be on tomorrow. So if y'all, I'll probably come back on here tomorrow. Damn, it's late. What time is it? Oh, it'll be 9 in Arizona. That's why my body feel crazy. Or it'd be 10 in Arizona. Dang. But I'll come back on here tomorrow sometime. Put your notifications on. Probably about like 6 or 7 my time. I'm gonna have this phone on, man. And people email me, hit me up, man. Let's build. Like I said, we getting ready to have our 5th annual Morris Ball. Let's come together, man. Let's share this stuff, man. If you don't have a fez and a turban and all that, I have them. Purchase a fez from me, I'll give you a turban. If you don't know how to wrap them, I'll show you how to wrap them on, man. I love it, man. But with that being said, man, once again, peace, light, and illumination, family.